So I was listening to a playlist of mine on Shuffle, and it came up with one of my favorite songs, Snuff by Slipknot. Easily in like my top 5, if not 3 favorite Slipknot songs, and it got me thinking because I am the eternal fucking wonderer. Why are metal ballads notoriously so fire? I mean, like, so much heat, whether it's the lyrics or the instrumentation or the vocalization, why do they always just go so hard? Why are they some of the biggest standouts from bands that are known for intensity and ferocity on albums that are notoriously very intense in their making? Why are they some of the songs that people look back on the most fondly or resonate the most with? I have theories! Some of my favorite songs from some of my favorite bands are the ones that are stripped back and acoustic and not really heavy or rock infused. Deathbeds by Bring Me the Horizon, Ashes of Eden or The Dark of You by Breaking Benjamin. A lot of Linkin Park's more stripped back and toned down stuff. I think One More Light is a very good song. Songs like Nothing Else Matters by Metallica or Fade to Black by Metallica, Changes by Black Sabbath, Snuff by Slipknot, the list goes on and on and on. Why is this? What wormhole did we slip into? I think it comes down to lived experience and the spirit of metal and what that is. Metal musicians are pretty much always very talented. They're very talented when it comes to instrumentation and songwriting, but also vocalizations, and it would be surprising to you to know how many metal musicians that are known for growls and harsh vocals are very good as clean vocalists as well. A great example of this would be Phil Bozeman and what he showed on Whitechapel's album The Valley. Hickory Creek is a top 5 song from Whitechapel for me. So in terms of always performing their stuff live and having the vocal chops and dynamics to be able to embark on these more acoustic and stripped back things, it makes sense. Metal is catharsis, and music as a whole tends to be pretty cathartic, but when you look at a lot of the modern ballads or even some of the most popular ballads throughout the decades, I don't really want to pull back the curtain or throw stones at a window when it comes to this, but a lot of the popular ballads that have released have been from people that are trying to write it with backing of a label, and they're trying to birth a love story out of thin air, and maybe they're drawing on some experience, but if you look at people like Taylor Swift and Adele, they are writing from experiences that seem to constantly replicate themselves, whereas metal bands approach it sparingly and they use their experiences sparingly. And metal is notorious for being these therapeutic endeavors by people, and they obviously deal with a lot of shit. A lot of these bands deal with addiction, whether it be alcohol or drugs or things in their life like mental health issues or just having a really rough upbringing or life tends to be a pretty common thing in metal. And as a result of that, and I think this not only goes for the musicians but a lot of the people who listen to metal in the community, they've been through some shit and they relate to the music, and it helps them vent out their frustrations and their irritations with the world and their insecurities within themselves, and it lets them take out their anger on the world and anger on themselves out on this very awesome form of music that is able to take all of that negative energy and put it into something positive, despite all the stereotypes and cliches that metal makes you a bad person or violent or deranged or whatever you want to fucking say. And so when you combine the sparing usage of ballads and more acoustic songs, you see that a lot of these songs are truly coming from the heart. If you listen to Changes by Black Sabbath or Snuff by Slipknot or Nothing Else Matters by Metallica, and you really dive deep into the themes of those songs and where it's coming from, if you listen to interviews or you look up what those songs are truly about and where they were coming from, it's not hard to see why they come off so much more genuine and relatable. And so it all accumulates into this perfect storm where it is the right circumstances of a community of people that are drawn to a music as sort of catharsis and therapy and as a way as having sort of an outlet, combined with musicians that are incredibly talented, that don't wear out the usage of ballads, and also have been through some shit, writing music that gets to the heart and rawness of the human spirit and condition. They can't really hide behind heavy instrumentation and growls and production. It is just them sort of pouring their heart out for you, and I think that's why a lot of these songs come across so much more genuine and raw, and they're not theatrical, they're not cinematic, they don't feel like they're pandering to try to get on the radio or get a #1 spot or get nominated for a Grammy. They truly are just gut-wrenching. And so many people can resonate and see themselves in these songs like Snuff or like Changes or like Nothing Else Matters. They can equate it to something or someone in their life or an experience, a shared experience in their life, whether it be parasocial dynamic or not. And like I said about the sparingly used thing, because they are sparingly used, they stick out like a sore thumb and they feel far more unique in the corpse pile, because if you want to listen to something heavy, there there are dozens of songs in any given band's discography that would fit that bill, and so when a song really comes through and it's like, holy shit, this band, this singer is genuinely going through something and putting this out there, it feels so much more meaningful and it feels more truthful and honest and from the heart. And I'm not saying that all these pop artists that make these sort of songs are not genuine, but I feel like if you look at a lot of like indie folk albums or modern pop albums that are very ballad driven, you kind of start to see a pattern where it just doesn't feel as genuine because they all sort of blend in and blur together. There is no other song that Slipknot has wrote that is like Snuff. That is literally Corey Taylor's suicide note in a way in a song and all of the shit he's been through. It is fantastic, and that's another thing. Metal is notorious for having really good lyrics, and most people don't really expect that when you get very extreme and obscene and visceral sounding sort of music. And obviously in extreme music, specifically extreme metal, there are some very vile and obscene, gruesome lyrics, but if you look at a lot of these bands, they write some very serious shit and some very meaningful stuff, and so when you filter that through the lens of a ballad, obviously it's gonna cook, it's bound to cook. But why do you guys think that metal and rock ballads are so amazing? You can let me know down in the comment section below, as well as some of your favorite metal and rock ballads, stripped back, acoustic, ballads, whatever they may be. You can let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. Agree or disagree, there is no wrong answer. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.